This whole situation between Marvin and Cooper Webb might be a team manager's dream and nightmare situation at exactly the same time.
You want them to keep racing and racing forward, you know, not start to block each other and let somebody else win. I had little experience with that in a long time ago in 91 with the Bale and Stanton. You know, also a French and American rider, so quite similar.
Marv can rightly say, hey, gloves are off. If I Eli Tomac you, like in Boston, that's not cool. But anything short of that is fine, right?
Just like Roger mentioned, you know, in 28 years ago or something, since 1991, this is only the second time that two teammates are fighting for the title, neck and neck. So it's a problem you wish you have, but then when you're in it, you're like, ah.
Both of those guys know what they'll do, no matter if anyone says anything to them. If Ian or Roger come up to them and talk to them, they both know like what's on the line. They know what they can do. They know they got to go back to the truck and answer to those two dudes.
You go one race at a time, one problem at a time, and you try to keep them from killing each other, and you have to act like a peacemaker. I always get telling Ian, well, that would be a good problem to have, you know.
It adds a lot to the series, man. We've been waiting for this. Webb was on our show and said I had to go to those guys and say, hey, sorry for everything that happened in the past. My bad. I'm here to learn, and I'm here to work with you guys. And it's taken 13 rounds, and we have something that Alden's going to have to deal with.
Cooper being strong has elevated Marvin. Marvin fighting for the championship has made Cooper maybe better at his racecraft. And so they complement one another. And from that side, I mean, you could never wish for a better situation.
You can't tell me this too, between the next 5 rounds, 14 points separating them, that there's not going to be contact. There's not going to be one of those Ken Roczen, Cooper Webb, last corner before the finish line controversy between Marvin and Cooper.
And that opened the door for Webb, who gets right into his teammate. Together and off the track goes Musquin.
But from the side of them in the truck, you know deep down that they both want the same thing. They both want to be Supercross champion. The thing is in reach, but it's not there yet. So just one race at a time.
Welcome to team management, Ian. We've been grooming you this for a while. Here you go. Here's the reins. Now deal with this storm.
We have Shane McElrath. He came into that race 14 points down.
So we're in a really big pickle.
One decent finish, and he would have pointed out for the year.
He's not 100% by any means. We have 4 rounds left. We sent him out there to go race. He's not eligible for next year.
I don't know how to walk. I don't know how to sit. Like, nothing makes it feel okay.
He's tough, but this pain, I'm like, yeah, we might be able to get through tonight, but it happened twice in, what, a week and a half? Could it happen again? And I'm just like, I don't even know what to do. I don't want to give up, but at the same time, I don't want to throw him away for the 250 class, and because we're not at 100%.
Shane McElrath, this coming out just now, out for the night with something wrong with his back. 3rd in the championship standings, just 17 points out, 2 behind Ferrandis, and this is really going to crush his chances.
So I'm flying out tonight.
You are?
Yeah, flying to Florida. Shane's only ridden 2 days since after Daytona. Tomorrow will be his 2nd day. My issue is if he was 100%, it'd be a no-brainer to me. Right. You know, 17 points away from a championship, and then 11 points away from having to move up. So it's kind of it's just like, what if his back goes out next week? You know, we race this weekend, and then it goes back out on next Thursday, and then we're just surviving, and then it's all outdoors.
The choice is crucial, though, like as far as those points.
Right now, he's probably got to decide soon on his 250 future. Obviously, we just saw him make a decision based on that. There are no 450 teams ready to sign him right now, in my opinion.
For him to make this decision, if he were to point out those consecutive years, his 2020 is already decided for him. Why would you want to race Cianciarulo and Ferrandis not at 100%? Move up without a plate and know that you've committed career suicide.
Bummer deal for Troy Lee all around this year because, I mean, coming into it, they had 2 title contenders, one on each coast, and then now they have nothing.
He needs a little bit more time to really put this recipe together. And I think he's making the right call by staying. He's going to cop some heat for it, but it is what it is.
Physically, I'm just can't get out of my own way.
And bottom line, I think we get you ready for outdoors, and you don't leave California until you're basically winning races. I just think we need to get the MRIs, send them to some doctors, and try to get you better. And then start testing, and maybe we can all look back and say this was a good decision eventually, but like, you have to step up.
Yeah.
And might be a blessing that you have a back injury, but the window's closing unless you deliver.
Ken Roczen's certainly been struggling a little bit lately. Hasn't made the podium for a few weeks. I've heard he's going to the Red Bull facility after this weekend to get tested and blood work and VO2 and all whatever else they do. Certainly seems like there's something wrong. It's obvious he's not the same guy.
I almost crashed back there in the first lap.
Oh yeah? Right before the end of the rhythm? It's gonna be a good one. Just don't even think about the start. It's a natural thing. This one's gonna win.
On the 16, gets the whole shot. Musquin is in second. Oh, piling up here. That's Chad Reed. And that's Musquin quickly into the lead.
I cannot believe Marvin Musquin jumped on a red cross flag.
Come on, keep fighting, keep fighting.
Marvin Musquin thinks he's won his second in a row.
Yeah, it's under review.
The gap at the finish line, 2.3 seconds.
The time you lost was during the yellow flag.
Oh, he jumped on the crossback.
Yeah. That's where he gapped you.
But that's not okay, though.
Nope.
Overall, that means a 7-point hit for what he should have scored tonight. He has 7 points removed from his total. Marvin is still considered the winner of the Seattle Supercross. He still gets the trophy.
Talked about Shane McElrath last week and him pulling out of the racing. Everybody kind of gave him, he actually went to the doctor today.
Shane, for Dr. Singh. Yeah, it's been really frustrating because I'm finally seeing an orthopedic. The first 3 times I heard anything from the doctor, it was, no, you're fine, nothing's wrong. But I'm like, dude, I can't do anything.
You have a little bit of a disc bulge here at this L45. Mm-hmm. The canal here is a little tight. You can see the nerve root.
All the speculation of saying, oh, he's laying down for points, he wants to come back. Shane's not that kind of guy.
Well, he's definitely not ducking the points.
No. I wouldn't say, I think it worked out well. Let's just say that.
Sure.
All right, I think that's the game plan. Let me see you in 2 weeks, but...
I've got some therapy to do, some anti-inflammatories to take, and the doctor thinks that should improve things. Again, everything's just up in the air, and right now my body says it needs rest, so that's what we got to go with.
It certainly looks like something's up. The writing's been on the wall that he doesn't look like the same guy.
You could tell just the way he recovered and rehabbed, he's all about the science of recovery. He's not looking for a magic bullet. He's not looking for an excuse. I think he's looking for
a solution,
a true solution.
It's just simple things, like my right side was always the strong and the really good side, and my left side I've always struggled with, whether that's my leg, and even this right now, when I was just holding these things, it's just no problem with anything on my right, but I feel like something's like either not firing in here or overcompensating, or it's tight or something.
So all the points where we put these are called the nerve plexus. And so between all of the organs, there's like crossroads throughout your body. And this is where all those crossroads are. The tonsils are a little underactive, but it's not significant. That is sometimes the case when there's some sort of underlying infection. So that's one thing that's going on.
Ken Roczen, to me, is a predator. He is nothing but a hunter. And these last several weeks have been almost embarrassing to watch him struggle because we know that he is different.
So what we're going to do, right, is 4-minute stages, kind of just what you did. The machine just going to put 40 watts on every 4 minutes. I'm going to take a little lactate. We're going to take the heart rate every 4 minutes. And then every 3 minutes in each stage, I'm just going to show you an RPE scale, and you're just going to say how you feel, you know. And we just go to threshold.
What he's had to come back to mentally to get to the point to line up and get back on the gate and do this. So when people criticize his mental strength, that infuriates me because his mental fortitude to get back to this point is beyond measuring right now.
Woo! Nice. Yeah, we're gonna put together, put our heads together and see what we think.
Is this a disappointing year if he doesn't win? Like, what he has had to come back from is so remarkable, and be back at this level now. There's a bunch of dudes that have had big injuries and that was it. They're done.
And it's going to be Roczen and Webb at the hole shot there for Musquin. Right, and that opens the door for Webb, who gets right into his teammate. And this battle is raging early. Webb together and off the track goes Musquin. This could be the first checkered flag Ken Roczen has seen in a couple of years. And there's the checkers for Roczen.
He comes out and rails them in the first main event. That's a mini milestone. Now, he's not going to count that as a win. You run that race for 10 more minutes, turn it into a conventional race. What? He's going to put 20 seconds on him?
Here we go. Getting ready for that gate drop. Underway. Oh, one rider getting tossed right out of the saddle. And it's Roczen who went down. And he's limping back to the bike.
He cannot buy a break right here, and this is what this number 2 has done all season long, is put himself in the right position.
It's forcing Marv to ride in a way that he doesn't want to. We're playing this game of like action-reaction, and Cooper is the one forcing the action, and Marvin is the one that's forcing the reaction.
I think every team out there wishes they had our problem. We knew that there was a lot of passing between our two guys, and they didn't look happy after that moto. There were 3 passes in the beginning of the race, and I would say they were all fair. And then in the back corner, we can't see, but I think maybe they touched there, and that might have set Cooper off. But after that, Cooper knocked him 3 times. We don't want to take anyone's spirit away. They need to race and race hard to get to the front. That's what we pay them to do. That's what we want them to do. We love it. That's what the fans want, everything.
So when you're racing, you have all that money on the line, you have the prestige, you have the trophy, you have everything on the line.
Yep.
That shit's gonna happen, no matter if in the same truck or not.
They both have very different styles. So it's not like Cooper can duplicate what Marvin's doing or Marvin's gonna duplicate what Cooper. So there's that separation there that I feel, but I think sometimes they feel like you're giving up trade secrets, you know?
I don't want to shout, come in a little closer. Thank you. Cooper, no napping in the beginning. Couple of areas you're just a little, you know, try and roll those turns, make it happen. Well, Marv got you on the last step. 9.7. I got.
Hey, let him go first then.
Marv?
He's slinging that thing around.
Yeah, Marv, well, hey! Marv, then you! Come on, Cooper, focus! Keeping the boys sharp, man. No, you want to always cover your bases, so we want, you know, to make sure that there's no problems with doing motos and there's no problems with shorter speed laps. So making sure that when they go racing, they're ready to go.
For me, for the last, I don't know, 6-8 weeks, Marvin's been arguably the best guy in the series, and he's slowly bringing the series back The question is, can he ride mistake-free? The weekend he has to avoid is giving anything back to Cooper. He cannot lose points on a given weekend, or else it just shifts the momentum and changes everything again.
Marv's in the spot of where Stu was all those years. Like, there's no margin of error here. Webb just needs one thing to go his way, and he's got this.
Just remember, if you make a mistake, try and let that go. Yeah, I could see that with this one and that far turn. That looked good, Marv, because this is obviously a lot different to the red track. You were carrying your momentum nice, your turns were nice. Now, it's also good to see when you get creative and change up the lines. Well, yeah, your best is a 004, yours is a 008, and Marv's is a 59.9. You might have to give up a little in the beginning to get, you know what I mean? Because I felt like sometimes you're getting in there a little hot and then you pushing out. To give you an idea on best feel. Good job, Marv. Focus on core. Just a little too creative out of that turn, the one lap.
The 450 thing, I wonder if it's just about done right now for Cooper Webb, which would be an amazing season if he manages to pull this thing off, man. What an unexpected championship that'll be.
This will be a championship that I think will get remembered for a really, really long time, for sure.
If Cooper wins one more main event, I think that's the stamp.
Okay.
Where I think he rides it out.
17 right now.
He knows.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I got to stick to that.
Do you think Baker says don't touch each other?
I don't even think that's brought up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So it's just all fair. It's all good.
I think I got held up. No, every time it was too many people in the whoops to run it. I seen it. So, not saying that's a second worst, but I'd say I left easily a half second out there. For sure.
2 laps before that were both 51s, but that was right when you met, when you a lot, both laps. So I reckon you could have cut a half second off that.
That's what I just thought.
Yeah.
I felt like I left a half second on the tail.
Yeah, that was solid. Good.
Yeah, that last change on the fork I don't think was
okay.
The right way. I think it helped some places but hurt others.
The change on the shock was good. Yeah.
Good.
Hey,
good to meet you.
How are you?
Yeah, everything good?
Thank you. Yeah, fine.
First Supercross race or?
No, I was in Minneapolis last year.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I went in there. Yeah.
Let's head into
How
the
is it?
semis. Good, yeah, really good. Yeah, we'll go inside to the.
How many times you train per week?
Riding 3, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Maybe sometimes a little bit too much. You guys don't practice, huh?
No, not anymore. I mean, we have 6 days on February and March, winter tests, 6 days, and then during the season 3 days. But always official tests. I mean, all the teams, all the riders, and
that's crazy.
And now for the future, they want to put even more races, but less testing.
It's Ken Roczen's night. He's been fast the last 3 weeks. He was fastest today in time qualifying practice. He just looks like he's in a league of his own.
Got a long start straight and where we shot. Start is on you, buddy. First main event of history here in the Music City. Who's going to get the whole shot? Cooper Webb. Daniel, how much will Cooper Webb risk here?
I think he'll do whatever it takes.
Marvin Musquin loses it in the woods.
You hate to say it, but whoops are costing him. It cost him last year, hurt himself at Houston. It cost him this weekend in a way you wouldn't have thought so.
This is going to be devastating to his points.
Roczen on the 94 up to 4th.
No one is even on his level.
Could tonight be the night he stands on the top step of the podium?
Kenny he seemed to be on a different level all day, but I feel like they're on to something.
He goes to Marchi, and Roczen goes up and over the berm.
I cannot believe this.
It probably should have been Roczen's, but somehow Roczen either killed a black cat and walked under a ladder while breaking a mirror. I'm not exactly sure, but Roczen was probably the fastest guy all day.
I cannot
cannot believe again how this is playing into the hands of Cooper Webb.
You know, but Cooper Webb got the whole shot.
Tomac trying to change that up a little bit here tonight. Inside again. Cooper looking the answer. Tomac takes the line away. Coming to the finish line. Eli Tomac will win the first Supercross race in Nashville.
Now it's a two-man race. If it even is a two-man race, it's now Tomac and Webb. There's no chance Marv can rebound to, get into that mix, I don't think.
As for Roczen, I don't even know, man. He did nothing wrong.
We didn't have bad luck, we had no luck. But that's racing, right?
It's bizarre.
No, yeah. I texted a little bit with Courtney, his wife, after the race, and she said we're laughing at this point. What else can happen? Is this it for Webb?
Under normal circumstances, it is. Obviously, anything can happen in racing. But I'm saying this is it. I'm saying this is it.